Hey guys, so welcome back. So I've got another deck profile for you where it's sort of like, well, let me show you. It's essentially, I tried to recreate Dragon Exodia because you might have remembered in like 2 videos ago when I was doing Slifer Agent / Agent Exodia. Some people might not exactly like this build. They might have preferred the original FTK, because obviously this deck can't FTK. You're essentially waiting on Tethius, and since she's a level 5, you have to sack a monster to summon her. So obviously the best you can do is on your second turn summon her. But if you prefer the FTK, then I had to modify my Dragon Exodia a little bit. You can probably tell what new cards I put in. So I took out 8 cards and I put in 8 new cards. The 8 old cards that I took out were 2 Magical Stone Excavations, 3 Super Rejuves, 1 White Elephant's Gift, 1 Card Destruction, and 1 Pot of Avarice, and that's it. So just take out those and then put in 3 Into the Voids, 3 Royal Magical Libraries, 1 extra Hand Destruction, and 1 extra Feather of the Phoenix. And then you've got this deck essentially remade. So this deck actually does work out pretty well. The only annoying thing is, like, I had probably 10 duels in a row where I went through half of my deck and never drew the Royal Magical Library, which is ridiculous. That doesn't happen in real life. I run 3 of them. But whenever I dueled against Jarvis, I would normally top deck it, which makes me think that there was something screwy with the fucking shuffling algorithm, which kind of pisses me off, but you know, whatever. I'm not going to go into that. So the main thing about this is Royal Magical Library. There's a very specific way you need to play this deck, because remember, he can only have 3 max spell counters on him. So let me actually go ahead and show you a few example duels of how to use this deck, because it's pretty good. It's pretty successful. I think you'll like it. And I clicked on the wrong fucking thing. But yeah. So, no, not against him. He'll be the last one that I show. So let me start off with the original, because it does take a little bit of patience to understand how this deck needs to work. But one of the great things about this deck is Toon Table of Contents. Before, it just used to be a way to filter your deck. Now, each Toon Table of Contents that you play adds a spell counter to Royal Magical Library. So watch what happens. So of course, you know, you summon a Royal Magical Library. If you ever have him, first thing you do is you need to summon him in order to start the effect. You play all 3 of your Toon Table of Contents. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and now you have Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. Now immediately use his effect, or its effect, because there's no way that you're going to be stupid enough to keep on going, because max is 3. So you need to be able to use the free draw whenever possible. So you play it again. That's 1 spell counter. That's 2 spell counters. That's 3 spell counters. Draw again. And then that's the great thing about Upstart Goblin and Into the Void. First of all, you get to draw a free card, and it adds to Royal Magical Library. So that's 1 spell counter. That's 2 spell counters. That's 3 spell counters. Now what I can do actually is I can select any card from the graveyard and return it to the top of the deck with Feather of the Phoenix. So what I could do is I could actually discard one of the Pieces of Exodia and add something back to the top of the deck, like another. Oh, hold on, how many Blue Eyes do I have in the? Okay, just 1 Blue Eyes. So I could. I don't know what I do here, but obviously I've got 3 spell counters, so immediately activate it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Send a Piece of Exodia to put a trade in at the top. Now I can actually add back the Blue Eyes and a Piece of Exodia and activate the trade in, so I can draw that other trade in. Okay, so how many spell counters? Okay, I've got 3 spell counters again. Draw and activate another Cards of Consonance. So obviously I'm going to discard the White Stone of Legend and add a Blue Eyes to my hand. Now the reason why I've got 3 Hand Destructions and I only had 2 in the last Dragon Exodia is because Super Rejuve didn't plus your hand until the very end of your phase. At the end phase, obviously. Whereas Royal Magical Library continuously pluses your hand. So I can afford the -1 every single time I activate the Hand Destruction, or the -2 every single time I activate Feather of the Phoenix. And you really want the Hand Destruction to get either Pieces of Exodia, dead Toon Table of Contents, or dead Royal Magical Libraries. Obviously, any other Royal Magical Library that's not on the field is dead in your hand. So, yeah. Activate that. Okay, that adds 1 spell counter to it, I guess. Yeah, 1 spell counter. Okay, then trade in, obviously, so that's 2 spell counters. Now, that's 3 spell counters. Immediately activate it, so now I can activate Hand Destruction. That's 1 spell counter. And then activate Upstart Goblin or Cards of Consonance. Okay, so that's 2 spell counters. Add another Blue Eyes. That's 3 spell counters. Activate. Oh, actually, at this point, I don't really need Royal Magical Library, but I could have activated it, but I can clearly see I'm about to win, so it doesn't fucking matter. So, yeah, go ahead and activate it. Discard 2 cards, draw, activate Cards of Consonance, and then there you go, game. I mean, pretty well. You can see that Royal Magical Library does a very good job of plussing your hand every single time you need it. It's really good. Very rarely do you actually end up with a just you can't do anything with this deck. But I'm still testing it out. This is still the preliminary stages of the deck. So if you want to go back to FTKing like I do, because I love to FTK. Dragon Exodia was my baby. And I raised it from when I was a little kid. So yeah. So first things first. You see Royal Magical Library, right? And you see 3 cards that not only allow you to draw 1 additional card. 1 Day of Peace protects you, but you also make sure that if you activate Into the Void, you're able to do something like this, because once you activate Into the Void, you're discarding all your cards at the end phase, so don't fuck up. Alright? So immediately, as soon as you activate these 3 cards, you'll be able to draw 1 because of Royal Magical Library, so that's good. So go ahead and activate all 3 of them. Yep, okay, well that's good. We also had a trade-in. Okay, so draw a free card. Alright, draw 2 more cards. So that's 1 spell counter. That's 2 spell counters. That's 3 spell counters. And we can't activate that last Toon Table of Contents, which is alright. Get our free draw. Alright, and then activate Hand Destruction to get rid of a Piece of Exodia and a useless Toon Table of Contents. So that's why I like Hand Destruction. Or, wait, what the fuck did I discard? Oh, a White Stone of Legend. Oh, that was just so I could get the Blue Eyes, I guess, to my hand. Well, I guess that's pretty smart. Whatever. Okay. So that was 1 spell counter, so this is going to be 2 spell counters. And it's all riding on these next 2 cards that I get. Hopefully it's something good. Okay, and it was. Hallelujah. So that's 2 spell counters. Get rid of Royal Magical Library and a Piece of Exodia. That's 3 spell counters. Now I get to draw a free card. There we go. That's nice. That's 1. Alright. That's 2. Put a trade in at the top. Oh, yeah. So, first of all, that's 2 spell counters. Keep track of that. But one of the great things about Feather of the Phoenix over Magical Stone activation is that Magical Stone activation, you'd have to discard 2 cards from your hand. I, in this particular case, don't really want to discard 2. Instead, I can just discard 1, and it adds it to the top of my deck. Well, I know that that card at the top of my deck is going to be added to my hand, and it's something that I obviously want. So Upstart Goblin is not only going to add to the spell counter count, but it's also going to get that card into my hand. Normally, in the old Dragon Exodia, you want Magical Stone Excavation because you don't want to have to waste draw cards on getting it to your hand. But since every single spell card that you activate adds to Royal Magical Library's draw power, it's okay to add it to the top of your deck. Because notice, as soon as I activate, like Upstart Goblin, it's going to give me the free draw anyway from that. So I +1 myself, not really minus myself. That didn't really make much sense to me, but hopefully it makes sense to you. So yeah. Okay, then bring back the Blue Eyes, and that's 1. Even Dark Factory counts as a spell towards that. Isn't that just so bloody brilliant? And I accidentally set trade in, but I meant to activate it. So that's 2 spell counters. Alright, so that's good. And then I can activate Feather of the Phoenix again. Or Cards of Consonance. Wow, I'm blind. There's a White Stone just like sitting in my hand. And that'll be the 3rd spell counter on Royal Magical Library. Wow, I still had a Blue Eyes left. Okay, activate Royal Magical Library, of course. Activate Into the Void, so that's 1. Activate Feather of the Phoenix. Put trade in on the top. See, that's good because not only is that 2 spell counters, but when I activate Cards of Consonance, I'm going to get a spell card that I know I can activate. So, yeah, Cards of Consonance will allow me to draw 2 cards. Plus, I get to draw a free card from Royal Magical Library. Then I activate Trading, so that's one spell card. Activates that, so that way I could like... Oh, actually that's game. Never mind. Don't need to do anything with that. But yeah, there you go. So you see how it works. As long as you top deck Royal Magical Library, and you have at least like 2 spells that allow you to draw, you're probably going to be well set. Because, I mean... You can always set Royal Magical Library because you've got 2 other ones in your deck, and it's got 2,000 defense, so it's not bad. But preferably you want to open up with a hand that, you know, is something like this, I guess. Yeah, now it's something like this. So first of all, activates, you know, summon, activates, so add a free Blue Eyes to your hand. So I would probably card destruct, only because I can obviously get them back with Dark Factory. Plus, that's really all I've got. So that's, what, 2? That's going to be 2 spell counters. That's going to be 3 spell counters. Hopefully this free draw is something good. Come on, give it to me, give it to me. Oh, that's actually really good, because here's the deal. That'll add 2 spell counters to Royal Magical Library, because I get to activate 2 of the Toon tables. And then, what I can do is... ooh, what will I need to do? Okay, well that'll be my 3rd one, so hopefully by discarding that Toon table, putting a hand destruction on the top, this hand destruction will do something for me. So discard, okay, well that's 1 spell counter. Hopefully these hand destruction can do something for me as well. That's 2 spell counters, add back. Okay, so I have to discard I can't discard any more Pieces of Exodia because I've used up all of my Dark Factories, and I don't really want to waste any more of my Feather of the Phoenixes. Oh wait, no I haven't. Oh yeah, I have. There's the second one right there in my fucking face. So yeah, go ahead and hand destruct, or get really lucky and draw a Flamvell Guard. Either one will work. So that's 1 spell counter. Then 1 day of peace, or trade in, either one. So that's 2 spell counters, 1 day of peace. That's 3 spell counters. Get a free draw from that. That's really good. Plus 1. Okay, draw again. Okay, that's 1 spell counter. Draw again. That's 2 spell counters. Pot of Duality. That's 3 spell counters, plus hopefully I get something good. And I'll add the Blue Eyes. So go ahead and activate the effect. Free draw, and obviously I can activate 2 more spells, trade in and upstart, so I'm looking good right now. I've got a nice full hand. That's 2. And discard the Royal Magical Library, so that'll be 3. Draw a free card. Activates a Magical Stone, even though I don't think I have any Blue Eyes left, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter because obviously I'm going to just draw and get the last piece of Exodia, and that's pretty much it. So that's how you win with this deck, you know? It's really freaking simple. But I'm trying to look through all of my duels and make sure that there's nothing that I'm skipping over in terms of a certain order in which you must play something, you know? Know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's 1 spell counter, 2 spell counters, and I think you can get the point from there. But yeah, so just make sure you're keeping track of the spell counters because you need to activate it ASAP. And notice I don't have anything in here, so I just destruct a Piece of Exodia and Cards of Consonance. Draw 2 free cards. Thankfully, one of them was a Blue Eye, so I can always trade that in. But first, activate Royal Magical Library's effect. So, one of the great things about this deck is you don't need to keep track of the number of dragons that you've discarded, but you definitely need to keep track of the number of spell counters that's on Royal Magical Library. So, yeah, go ahead and make sure you're doing that. Trade in and Cards of Consonance, that's always really nice. Oh yeah, so whenever you get a dead card in your hand like a Royal Magical Library or useless Toon table, try to Feather of the Phoenix it for another card. Like obviously I'm going to put a trade in on the top, because when I activate Cards of Consonance I'm going to draw into that trade in. Because that trade in is really nice because it's going to add a spell counter to Royal Magical Library. So just as a little FYI for in the future. Or you can, yeah, see, you can even just use this effect to draw that trade in. Draw the card that you just put on top. So yeah, that's good. That's 2. And then immediately, as soon as you get Toon Table of Contents, like I said in Old Dragon Exodia, activate it ASAP, because you don't want to draw into another Toon Table, because otherwise that ends up as a dead card. So, yep. activates again. Yeah, and obviously I had already traded in my Blue-Eyes Toon Dragon, so I can't activate the last Toon table, but that's okay. So, keep on activating, and do I have any Pieces of Exodia in the grave? I think I do, but, you know, I can't really keep track. Yeah, 1. Okay, alright, so I'll need to use that Dark Factory for that later on. But, we'll see what happens. And I'm missing 1 Piece of Exodia, I'm guessing, from my deck somewhere. Draw that free card. So then I add back that Piece of Exodia because I can use Pot of Duality to look at the last 3 cards that I have and then add the Piece of Exodia to my hand. Oh, okay. Apparently I do that first, even though I didn't need to. And I don't even add back the Piece of Exodia because I was trying to be pro, I guess. I don't know. Obviously I was going to win anyway, but it doesn't matter. So yep, there you go, that's how you win. Really easy to FTK. Really easy. And I've actually, don't worry, I've got one where I actually duel a live person. But, oh my gosh, dude. What is up with people being faggots these days? Like, seriously? Everyone, as soon as I played either Royal Magical Library or like Toon Table of Contents, everyone's just, oh, I'm going to quit out. Oh man, this shit's stupid. Obviously he's going to draw Exodia. I'm like, bitch, you don't know that? Damn, I could lose next turn. But everyone seems to freaking quit out. So I've only got 1 duel, and it was a duel that someone actually stayed in the game with me. So, and I didn't top deck Royal Magical Library in that duel, just like I didn't top deck it in this duel. So I try to use up blockers before I have to do anything. Mainly because I try not to waste my spells until I get my Royal Magical Library, because Royal Magical Library is useless without it. So thankfully I drew into a Toon Table of Contents, because that's going to add a whole bunch to the spell counters, so I'll get a free +1 from that. Draw a card, hopefully it's not Blue-Eyes Toon. And it's not, that's good. Okay, add another one. And then what I'm going to actually do here is, notice I don't have any cards that can get any cards to my hand, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I thought of this very strategically. I've got 1 spell counter, right? If I activate both Feather of the Phoenixes, that's going to put 3 spell counters on there. I'm going to discard 2 dragons to put 2 Upstart Goblins on top of my deck. That way, when I use the free draw from Royal Magical Library, I'll be able to draw into that first Upstart Goblin. Then I'll activate that Upstart Goblin. That'll draw me into the next Upstart Goblin. Then I'll activate that Upstart Goblin. That'll put 2 spell counters on Royal Magical Library, and hopefully the 3rd card that I draw is a spell card. So otherwise, I'm screwed. But yeah, put that last Upstart Goblin on there. And I don't think I had any Cards of Consonance or trade-ins, otherwise I would have, of course, added it. But yeah, so there you go. Draw 1, and then there you go. That's 1 spell counter, 2 spell counters. Hallelujah! 3 spell counters. And not only can I use this trade-in, but I also get my free draw. Thank you. Get my free straw. Thank you. But yeah, so now I can activate that, discard those 2. That'll put 2 spell counters on there. Okay, and then activate Dark Factory to get them right back. So that's 3 spell counters to get a free draw. Plus I can activate the Cards of Consonance. Oh, plus a trade-in. Ooh, piece of candy. So yeah, so that's 1 spell counter. Obviously that's going to be 2. Obviously that's going to be 3. Get the free draw. And then I've still got Cards of Consonance, so that's okay. So that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Get the free draw again. And now I need to start adding back Pieces of Exodia, because I need those in my hand if I want to win. But now I can, of course, how many spell counters are on there? 1? Yeah, so 1 spell counter, and I've got Pot of Duality. So, and I can always card destruct, although I'm just going to add back the Pieces of Exodia, so that's good. And then that's game, right there. So even if you don't start off with it, a lot of times it's good. There were a few times that I went through half of my deck, like I was telling you, and I couldn't find the Royal Magical Library. So the shuffling algorithm was a little shit, but that's alright. So I went ahead and let Jarvis go first this time, because obviously I've dueled him 10 times and won. So this time I want to see if I can still win if I let him go first. So he does go first, and I don't have Royal Magical Library. I are so sad. But I try to add it. Oh, well, there we go. Okay, so thankfully I drew it. So activate 1, activate 2, activate 3. So that's good. Get the free draw. Hopefully I don't draw a Toon table. Oh, what a bitch move, Konami. Well, actually, it's not even Konami. It's YGO Pro. So that's 1 spell counter. And then I can activate Dark Factory. That's 2 spell counters. And then activate Pot of Duality. 3 spell counters. Hopefully I get something good. I'll take the hand destruction, please. Give me that free draw. Thank you. And then hand destruct the useless Toon Table of Contents and Royal Magical Library, because obviously I can't use them. So that's 1 spell counter on there now. So that's good. And plus I can activate both the Cards of Consonance and the Trade-in, so that's good. So that's what, 2 spell counters, 3 spell counters. I get the free draw, that's nice, and whatnot. And my Into the Void also counts. Oh, thank God I drew that Cards of Consonance, because I don't think I would have been... I can't even activate the... Yeah, I can't even activate the Dark Fact. I would have been dead in my hand if I hadn't drawn that Cards of Consonance. Hallelujah! Praise what Jesus. Okay, so draw, get another Blue Eyes. Okay, so that's what, 2 spell counters. Activate the 3rd spell counter. Yep. Oh, activate another. And unfortunately, I don't get the free Blue Eyes because I drew into it, but that's okay. So whatever, that's my 2nd spell counter. Keep on drawing. Obviously, you can tell I'm going to fucking win this shit. I mean, you'd have to be a fucking moron at this point to lose. And notice that I can use the Upstart to now draw that. So, plus Upstart counts towards the spell counter thing. Draw that, although I drew the last piece of Exodia, so I don't even care. But yeah, that's how you do it. And then I've got this last one, which I was just dueling against Jarvis. Like, really, I mean, if... I just duel against Jarvis because it could have... Jarvis is not going to quit out on me, which is nice. And notice I don't have Royal Magical Library. So next turn, what I need to start doing, even if you don't have Royal Magical Library, if you don't start off with it, you still need to activate all of your Toon Table of Contents because you don't want to end up with that dead draw drawn into another Toon Table of Contents. Because that is more annoying than you can possibly imagine. And he tries to attack by activating a 1-deck piece, so it's okay. So... Yep, and draw, I didn't get what I wanted, so just go ahead and activate the... I'm going in fast mode for this shit. No fucking way I'm going to watch this, but I also did that because I can trade in the Blue Eyes Toon Dragon, so hopefully I can draw into Royal Magical Library. I don't. IR like what? And I still don't. IR like what? And I still don't. IR like what? And add that fucking Royal Magical Library. I'm like, bitch, get in my hand. I've been looking for you all day long. So there you go. Add those 2 back. So that's 2 spell cards. Make that 3 spell cards. So thankfully I draw these 2 babies because obviously you can tell that that's really going to add to it. Put in the trade-in so that way I can draw into the trade-in because it's a spell card that I can obviously activate, which is good. And go ahead and activate that. So that's the 3rd one. Or, no, that was... Oh, whoops. I'm not even keeping track. Man, I'm bad at this, apparently. Even though I created it. But yeah, hopefully you are liking this Royal Magical Library build, because, I mean, that's the whole reason why I fucking built it. So that way people would try it out to see if they like it themselves. Because I'm not... I might build this in real life. I just have to test out some more to make sure that I still like it as much as I do right now. So we'll see what happens. We will see, and that's game right there. And then I'll show you the duel against an actual person. I forget what he was running. Let's find out, shall we? So yeah. Man, lots of people quit out these days. Like, even when I was dueling with Lava Quasar. Oh, this guy was using Gem Knights, that's right. I don't know why you would use Particle Fusion. Send from your side of the field to the graveyard. To the list on then you can vanish this guy. Okay, yeah, see, Particle Fusion sucks because it has to be on your side of the field. It can't even be from your hand. So I don't know why that guy's using that. It really sucks. What the hell? What? Oh, wait, what does this say? You normal summon or set 1 once from your hand. You can only act to normal or what? I guess that's an addition or something? I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, wait, what the hell is Gem Enhancement? Oh. Huh. Oh, yeah, I remember that card. Yeah, I wouldn't run this deck if I were you. Oh, God, no, I definitely would not run it. But yeah, I like my Gemini build a hell of a lot better. But yeah, of course, I didn't top deck my... I never fucking top deck World Magical Library whenever I'm dueling real people. Never. Like, I swear, YGO Pro's like, oh, you're dueling a real person. Let me put it at the bottom of your deck. Like, oh, wow, they're grouped together. Oh, that's nice, I guess. Whatever. So, yeah. Draw. Out of a 10! Draw! So, hopefully I draw a World Magical Library right here. Okay, I do, thank God. Because the other one is now going to get shuffled into the deck. So, I now can start off my infinite chain, essentially. You know what I mean? Okay, so that's 1. Alright, that's 2. And I can activate Dark Factory, so that's going to be 3. So that's good. Get my free draw, please. Thank you. Please, K, thanks, bye. Okay, and then that's 1 spell counter. Now activate that. That's going to be 2 spell counters. Activate another one. That's going to be 3 spell counters. Go ahead and activate it. Hopefully I don't draw Blue-Eyes Toon. Okay, I don't. Bring Blue-Eyes Toon to my hand. Activate into the orb. Activate that, I guess. Oh yeah, as long as you still have a card that can possibly draw, go ahead and activate the Feather of the Phoenix. That way when you draw with Into the Void, you'll be able to obviously activate the trade-in. So that's good. Plus you get a free draw from that, so there you go. Cards of Consonance, draw. And Upstart, draw. Obviously I've got a super stacked hand. Super special awesome hand right here. But yeah. So 1 Day of Peace, add that. Hand destruct those 2 Royal Magical Libraries, don't fucking need them. Draw, that's nice. Activate Dark Factory, because I'll obviously need that Piece of Exodia. Activate Into the Void. I'm going to wait till I get to only 3 cards left, and then I'm going to add it with Pot of Duality. So I only need 1 more Piece of Exodia. Activate Pot of Duality. Obviously, that leg is coming to my hand. And game! So that's how you do it. And that wasn't an FTK, obviously, because I had to set the Piece of Exodia. It's not always going to be an FTK, but it's an OTK, and it's pretty damn fast. Like, this guy didn't even lay any hits on me, so that's pretty good. But anyway, so that's how you do it. If you're interested in running it, I would definitely suggest it, because it seems like a lot of fun. It's not as fun as the Super Juve type of thing, like I used to have, but, you know, it works. Wow, this turned into a 30-minute video. Are you freaking kidding me? Wow. Okay, anyway, so that's pretty much it for me. Hopefully you liked it, and I'll talk to you in the future. See ya.